You got the position group I think everybody's maybe the most intrigued by with the influx. Can you just talk about how things are going with the newcomers and the guys who played before?
Well, as a group, I think those guys are out there working really hard. They come to work every day. They're just, they're learning, they're helping each other grow, and the ultimate goal is to, develop and become what they want as a unit.
Coach, the 3 transfers have been with the first group, and we've been out there the last few days. Is that indicative of where they are right now, or is it just continue to experiment and rotate guys around?
It's an experiment in rotation. We're just rotating guys just to try to look for different matchups and just see who we got to go to battle with.
How nice is it to have a big guy like Ridgeway joining you guys to play inside there?
It's extremely nice. It's always nice to have, bigger guys that can, hold up in the middle, give you a little push and especially guys that work hard like Ridgeway and the other guys that are sitting in there.
You guys plan to be pretty multiple. What's it gone like in camp? Because we're hearing maybe 50-50 between 3-man, 4-man.
Right. Absolutely. Mainly 4-man. We're working a lot of 4-man right now. And, if we got guys to put out there and we can go with 4-man, that's what we'll be.
I guess you're talking about the transfers, like Ridgeway and Mark Carroll and Trey Williams. Could you maybe say something about each one of those guys separately, what you like about them, what kind of camp they've had?
Okay. I'll start with Trey Williams. He's a very athletic guy. He's a great edge rusher. He'll give you a presence, coming off the edge. Ridgeway, he's a big guy, 326 pounds, I believe, and it's just, he's a solid guy in the middle, has the type of mindset that, that we look for in the middle, just an aggressive guy, ready to bang and battle, play in and play out. And then Utsy, he's just, he's an athletic big guy. He bring a little athleticism to, the 3-tech spot. And, and he's also a banger and he's aggressive and he plays with, good technique, good leverage and all those things.
Those guys are new to you, to Arkansas, but they're very experienced college players. How nice is it to get an influx of experience like that?
Well, it's just a simple fact that the guys are, come in and they're willing to work, just like the guys that are already there. They're willing to work, and it's just a group of guys that are hungry and ready to, work for what they can get.
How's Zach Williams doing, Coach?
He's doing great. He's in there. He's in meetings. He asks questions. He's working day in and day out. He's learning the position, growing, and steady progressing.
I know you weren't here last year. I saw him down to Marion's press conference when he committed, and Zach's put on quite a bit of weight. Is he been able to play well move well and stuff with that?
Right, absolutely. And I actually seen kind of the before and now pictures, and it's kind of like night and day. But he's an athletic kid, and the biggest thing with all the guys is just learning and understanding the position. And once they get to the point of understanding what they're doing through and through, they can kind of go out and let their bird fly.
Coach, what's been your assessment of Eric Gregory's camp, and maybe where has he grown the most since spring ball?
Well, and Eric Gregory, he's a unique guy that honestly can play the end or can play inside for us. So so the biggest thing for him is it's a little bit more on his plate because he's not just sitting inside all the time. Sometimes he's on the edge. So I think for him it's just growing and he's kind of getting double the work. So he's just got to get the information and handle it from that stance.
Jermial, we had Cody Kennedy in here yesterday and asked him about your group. So now today, what have you seen from the O-line? A very veteran group.
Yes, sir. They come out ready to work every day. They come out, they're hard nosed. They come out and they attack, and then they actually challenge my guys daily. To bring what they have to the table.
Coach Pittman told us earlier in camp that he thinks Cam Ball may be a guy that could maybe help y'all this year as a freshman. What have you seen from him, and do you think that's something you could see this year, him contributing?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. He's an athletic young guy, and with any guy coming into a new program, it's going to be a little transition to understanding, the playbook and things like that. And that's just kind of one of the things that we work on daily you know, just them growing mentally and being able to handle what we're asking of them when the bullets are flying.
Coach, when we talked to Isaiah Nichols in the spring, maybe one or two times, felt like he wanted more of a leadership role.
Right.
Can you talk about him maybe in that capacity? And then who else is a voice in your room?
Well, and honestly, for me, I feel like we have a room full of leaders, and the reason why I say that is because I wouldn't say it's just one person that oversees the group. You know, everybody picks each other up. You know, you might have a down day and it's somebody else that can pick you up. So it's kind of a collective unit type deal. But, you know, to answer your question, he's been doing a great job at that. Dorian Davis has been doing a great job at that, you know, and Torin Carter has been doing a great job at that. And it's all guys that's being here to kind of understand the room, and they're just trying to, you know, get everyone together.
What sense do you get from Dorian? Because it's been kind of injury plagued in his 2 years here. Just what have you seen from him in his camp?
I mean, he's hungry, he's determined, he's ready to work, you know, and, you know, he wants to learn, he wants to understand what he's doing, but on the flip side, he wants to get out there and kind of put it all together.
How are the veterans who've gotten a lot of starts in their careers embraced the transfers who are pushing them?
Right. I mean, I think it's been a great transition. At the end of the day, I think everybody understands that, you know, we want to be great as a unit, you know, and it take everyone in the room, all 18 guys.
Coach, you've got an interesting background. You played at Texas Junior College. You coached in Kansas Junior Colleges. You spent a lot of time in Tulsa. From a recruiting standpoint, how do you think that, I guess, boost your value to the program? And what is your approach in terms of what you're looking for in players and how you go pursue them?
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm always looking for hard-nosed guys that's ready to work, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, regardless, you know, what you get, that guy has to be ready to work, and that guy has to be willing to take coaching. And I believe if you get those two things in a player, he can become what he wants to become. No, I mean, it's coaching, you know what I mean? And as you coach, the longer you coach, the more people you meet. So, you know, you kind of have, you know, connections, you know, all the places that you've been, and just, you know, especially like junior college, I kind of understand, you know, junior college kids, what they're going through. And I've been to transition, I've coached the transition, you know, so I kind of understand that. So in that case, you know, for me, I feel like whether it's junior college, high school, you know, I'm kind of diverse in, you know, helping those kids transition to what we got going here.
You mentioned Torin Carter a minute ago. What kind of camp is he having? What do you think of him as a player?
I mean, he's having a great camp. He's getting better every day. He's the technical side of things. I've seen the change from spring to now. You know, he's taking coaching, he's applying it, and it's showing up on film.
I assume it's probably going to be pretty hot when you guys play Rice. That 1 o'clock kickoff, I think it is. How many defensive linemen would you feel comfortable rotating? Because I know you want to keep fresh guys in there, you know.
As many as Coach Pittman allowed me to.
What do you think of the first scrimmage, and what are the kind of points of emphasis that you want to have Saturday?
I mean, really just carrying out your assignment, you know, under pressure, you know, just being able to function at a high level, you know, during the midst of playing at a high level.
I wanted to ask you about a guy that I think he's maybe your D-line assistant, Gregory. Just seems like a really energetic guy. Could you speak what it's been like having him, you know, work with you with your group?
Well, I mean, it's been great because he, you know, he's a high energy guy. You know, he's a high energy guy, and he brings that every morning. And honestly, I think the kids feed off of it. You know, at first it's kind of like, all right, you know, they kind of trying to fill him out, but then as they see it's daily, you know, sometimes he'll light the room up.
I think Sam said the other day that Trey Williams had 2 sacks, maybe 3 in the scrimmage.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many he had? Was it 2 or 3? And just what'd you think of his performance?
Not off the top of my head, I do not. But like I said, with Trey, I mean, he's a great pass rusher, and he comes to work every day in and day out. And, you know, it's a joy coaching him just because he's always looking for coaching. He's always looking to get better and to be coached. All right, thank you, fellas. Mhm.